traveled recently with Renee, and we had an awesome time in Arusha, and then we caught a plane to Zanzibar. It is absolutely fabulous. Lots of shopping, lots of history, lots of animals, lots of things to experience. It is awesome. She perfected every detail down to the last minute detail, and I just love her, and I love the girls that I met. There's new bonds, new friendships. It is totally awesome. I recommend it.
Hello, my name is Tasha. I just went on the Tanzania and Zanzibar experience. You can't miss this trip. It is an awesome and overwhelmingly beautiful experience to meet the children, the tribes, see all of the animals roam free naturally in their own habitat, sunsets, the balloon ride, the balloon breakfast, the different cuisines. I can't give this vacation enough accommodations to account for everything I've experienced. The people were kind, generous, and definitely the shopping was worth everything.
I just want to say thank you so much to Renee Simpson of Well Diva. This whole excursion has been amazing. From Tanzania to Zanzibar, my mind is just blown. In Tanzania, we got a chance to see multiple safaris, and we got a chance to lodge at different locations that really complemented the environment. So it added to feeling good about being there. The food, so incredible. Then we transitioned over into Zanzibar. We went to a spice farm, and we had a chance to actually sample the spices and locally cooked food by a local chef. And we got to actually have lunch in the village. Every day tops the day before. So thank you so much for going to Well Diva. And if you are considering traveling with Well Diva, just know you are going to get the experience of a lifetime.
Greetings! My name is Rock Shimmies, and I am one of the women that were blessed enough to have an experience with Renee Simpson and the Wealth Diva squad. And this experience has been Disney World for adults. From seeing giraffes and elephants and the wildebeest migration. There were so many moments during our experience that were breathtakingly beautiful. When we arrived in Zanzibar, had some of the best seafood I've had in my life. Very great dining experiences. Going to the spice farm, going to a rooftop dinner. It's just been an unforgettable experience. So if you like to travel and you get tired of maybe traveling solo dolo, come and join Renee for a travel experience of a lifetime.
Hi, I'm Sorella from Chicago. What a magnificent trip that I just experienced with World Diva and Renee, traveling to Tanzania, the safari, the resorts, the movement. You never knew what to expect from day to day, but everyone took your breath away, from the animals to hot air balloons to the gathering of thoughts and womanhood. I loved it. Then we took a flight to here to Zanzibar, and I fell all in love again with the high tide, low tide, and the movement of the moon. Thanks again. Look forward to future travels with you.
All right, I'll do a little intro. I mean, I know Robin, you know me, but Carmen, you have not met me before. How long you been following us on the newsletter, Carmen?
Been a year.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we started traveling together. I believe 2017 was the first trip, which was a wellness retreat in Arizona. And since then, we've been to 5 continents. By the end of the summer, we will have hit 6 when we do Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And the group is all Black American women. Occasionally there's a man that will join us when he's invited. We do not open registration to men to just, join us. They have to come when men are invited, and they have to come as a guest of one of the ladies who's registered. Most of our ladies are 50s and up. We do have some that are in their 40s and 30s, but for the most part, 50s and 60s. Occasionally someone in their 70s too. One thing is we are all mobile. We're very mobile. We do hiking. We get around. We do lots of walking on these trips. They're not really designed for anyone with mobility issues as far as the countries we go to. They just a lot of times don't make accommodations in those countries, unfortunately. So we always like to let you know that we do a lot of walking on the tours, and they are usually on cobblestone roads. So that's just something to be mindful of. And the group is designed to give you some travel companions. A lot of the ladies end up connecting after the trips. I'll look online and I'll see them, going on their own trips and visiting each other. And so it's a really, really good group of ladies. And oh, all these photos are from our Tanzania Zanzibar trip. And I am your host. I do expect to be your host on this trip. Sometimes things happen and I can't make it, but you will be left in competent hands if that happens. You don't have anything to worry about there. But I would love to visit Tanzania and Zanzibar again. This photo on the left, that was right after we did a hot air balloon flight. And then this photo on the right was in Zanzibar at right in front of the Rock Restaurant, which is a very famous restaurant that's just sitting right out in the ocean. All right, so we will start out in Arusha, which is where the airport, Mount Kilimanjaro Airport, I think it's JRO is the airport code. So you will fly into JRO from wherever you're coming from in the US. I don't believe we have a group flight set up yet. We may end up having one, but we're not sure. We never know until we get a little bit closer. We need at least 10 people for a group flight. And I think right now we have maybe 9 or 8. I don't know. But we may end up being able to do a group flight. If we do, it will likely go out of New Jersey or New York, preferably New York. I do not like the Newark airport. And so in Arusha, one of the things that I really like is the Arusha Coffee House. We had a chance to have lunch there last time, so I do want to get that on the itinerary, or we may even be able to stay at the Arusha Coffee House because the first night will be in Arusha. And it's a really, really nice, really beautiful grounds. The inn is really nice. It's more like not an inn, but it's like a bunch of little cabins. They're gorgeous. So hopefully we'll get to stay there. And the highlight of our time in Arusha was spending time at an African art center. They are said to have the largest collection of African art for sale on the continent. So you can imagine the amount of time that you might want to spend there shopping for art. And they had everything, not just wall hangings, but they have dishes and glassware, and they even had some furniture, some beaded chairs, all kinds of stuff. The only thing about shopping in Tanzania, though, is it is very, very expensive to ship things back. So you probably aren't going to want to buy any of those beaded chairs or big items like that. And what I recommend is to bring an empty suitcase for your shopping. And you see I have packing down here, so I'll get back to that in a second. But another thing you'll probably want to buy, some people trying to get in. Let's see. Another thing that, okay, welcome ladies. Another thing that people love to buy in Tanzania is Tanzanite. Tanzania is the only place where Tanzanite mines exist. So if you see Tanzanite anywhere else in the world, if it's real, it was shipped in from Tanzania. So it's going to have, some taxing on it, some extra fees. So if you want some Tanzanite, the best place to get it is going to be in Tanzania. And what's nice is you can get customized jewelry made. You can discuss your design or show them a picture while you're there in Arusha. Then we go out on safari and we come back to Arusha at the end of the tour a few days later. Then that's when you'll pick up your jewelry. So let me get on to safari. When we leave Arusha, we head out to Lake Manyara, the Serengeti, and Ngorongoro Crater, which I think I have those on the next page, so I'll get back to those. But I wanted to talk about packing because the safari Jeep is not that big, okay? I don't know if any of you've been on safari before,
Mhm.
but on that Jeep, they ask you, this is the Jeep, that's how small it is. They ask you to bring a duffel bag, okay? So what I say is bring a suitcase with a duffel bag, leave your suitcase in Arusha. You do your shopping in Arusha at the art center. Leave your suitcase. They'll have a place where we can safely leave it. And then we go off on safari with our duffel bag. And then we come back to Arusha before heading to the airport. That's when you can pick up your suitcase. That's the way we did it last time. That's what I recommend. Even though your airline ticket may allow you to take 2 pieces of luggage and a carry-on, unfortunately, these Jeeps just cannot handle all that. So they want you to bring a duffel bag, not a small suitcase. They want it to be a soft-sided bag so they can squish them all in there together. And then when you're on safari, you usually see people wearing these colors. It's so that you can kind of blend in with nature. So we're wearing a lot of khaki and brown and beige. You don't have to wear those colors, but that's pretty much what people do when they're on safari. Just kind of blend in. If you do decide to get out the Jeep in a place where it's safe, you won't stand out. That's what that's all about. And then also there are I think it's called the CC fly. I believe it's called the CC fly. It's this bug that bites. And so they say don't wear blue. For some reason, that bug likes blue. So they tell you don't wear blue. And then they also recommend you don't wear white just because it's so dusty and they want you to get dirty. Can somebody mute your mic? I hear a lot of rumbling. Okay. One of the other things we did was a hot air balloon flight. It's not included in our itinerary, but it is an extra that you can add on. I highly recommend it. We do hot air balloon flights in a lot of places, but this one, it's a safari under you. So you are getting a chance to see the animals from the top. And it's just nothing like it. I mean, we were up there. We even could see like birds' nests in top of the trees. We saw zebras. It was beautiful. We saw animals migrating. It's really, really, really special, I think, to do the hot air balloon flight there. And we did get to see, I know we saw 4 of the big 5. Our tour guide said we saw all 5, but that last one was so far away, we just had to take his word for it. But the big 5 is what you're looking for when you go on safari, and you want to have your binoculars. But you see these ladies, they're all just using their phones. So for the most part, we were up close enough to just see all of these animals. We only needed the binoculars a few times. But we did see the Cape buffalo, we saw the lion, we saw the African elephant, and the leopard. The rhino was the one that it was so far away that when the tour guide said that was a rhino, we just had to take his word for it. So we didn't get a picture of it because it was really, really far away. But when we went to Kenya, I made sure we picked a safari in Kenya where we could see the black rhino and the white rhino. Okay. Okay, so yes, Serengeti National Park is one that we will visit, and that is where all of the animals will be migrating. We will be there during migration season, so we should be able to see that. You may have seen that on, National Geographic or some show where there's like thousands of animals just running. So hopefully we will catch that. We should, because it's going on all during that time. We will spend a couple of days in the, how do you say this? Ngorongoro Crater. I never did get how to say it. I think it's Ngorongoro Crater. It's the eighth, considered the eighth wonder of the world. It's a huge, huge volcanic crater. And all of these animals are just living together. It is the most amazing thing to see wild animals just walking around like they're friends. It's like, you know, different, all these different species of animals getting along. It's just really unbelievable to see that. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And one tour that you can also add on, or hopefully we can add it into the itinerary, but if not, it will be an add-on, and that is the time that we got a chance to visit with the Maasai people in their village. That's what this photo is up here. This gentleman was showing us how they make fire. They actually took us into the huts where they live and showed us how they cook. It is just amazing how they have preserved their culture. And you'll see them walking around with, you know, the big spears and all that. They actually keep the animals from coming into where you know, where the tourists are. So like some of the places that we stayed in, we're not able to go outside at night because there might be some animals walking around out there. So really something. And then I just wanted to mention that Tanzanian food is absolutely delicious. I wasn't familiar with any of the food. So I can't compare it to anything. They do a lot of seafood, but I did a plant-based diet and I just had a ball eating everything that I could enjoy there. But I know they have, you know, different meats. Everybody seemed to be happy with the food, and there's plenty of vegetables, lots of seasoning. And that's because Zanzibar is considered Spice Island. So got another somebody coming in. Zanzibar is also known as Spice Island. So lots and lots of spices are grown and exported there. It's on the Indian Ocean, so you can just imagine there's lots of Indian flavors to the food combined with African flavors. I just feel like it's the best of two worlds. This is a photo of Raquel, one of the ladies that went on the tour with us, and she's in front of the rock house I mentioned before. And this was a spice farm tour that we did. You get a chance to purchase some spices and learn about all the spices that are grown there. It was a very, very interesting tour. This down here is me getting my hair braided by 4 women. You can see the 4th one right there in the back. And they did an excellent job. I don't know if you have time for that while we're there, but if you do, I think they did a wonderful job, and it was a lot cheaper than getting your hair braided in the US. If you can get it done in Arusha, that might be better because that would be right at the beginning of the tour. And if anybody is interested in that, you can let me know and I can look into finding you a braider in Arusha. And you may even want to arrive a day early just to enjoy yourself there a little bit longer or stay a day longer. I know 1 or 2 of the ladies stayed a couple extra days in Zanzibar after we left. So the Spice Farm tour is one of the things we'll do in Zanzibar. We also do a day cruise to what's called Nakupenda Sandbank. So it's this little island in the middle of the ocean that we just stay on during the day. We play on it. And then by the time it's time to go, the little island is almost underwater. It's amazing how the tide just comes in. It's just like where Rock is standing here, how beautiful it is. Now, when we first got there, the tide was way up, like where she is. Then we come out, you don't see you don't see the beach. it's covered. Like we had to get a boat all the way back here. It's really interesting. I've never seen that anywhere else. I don't know where else it does that, but the tide just goes way out and then it comes way back in like within hours. Cooking class is another something that you can do in your downtime. I did a cooking class in both Tanzania and Zanzibar, and they were both amazing. Zanzibar is where Freddie Mercury of Queen was, I don't know if he was born there or if he just lived there as a child, and he grew up there, but his boyhood home is there, and they've turned it into a museum. So if you're a Queen or Freddie Mercury fan, you'll want to take a minute to go through there. I did that. I really enjoyed it. And Zanzibar has some amazing shopping. I have us staying in Stone Town so that we can be right there and you just step out and you do your shopping. I have bargaining on here because yes, you will need to bargain heavily. These people are very aggressive and they can be money hungry. They know you're not from there. They will try to rip you off. I know a lot of people say, well, oh, you're going to this other country and you should be generous and just give them what they ask for. They will get you if you let them. So, we want to be fair, but they're not trying to be fair to us. So, as far as bargaining, usually, like if they tell you something is $100, they will sell it to someone else for like $20. Is that bad? So usually with bargaining, I say whatever they offer you, don't pay any more than 50% of that. And you're still probably being generous at that point. Okay. And then finally, Rock Restaurant, which I've mentioned a couple of times, it's the restaurant that really is sitting out there in the ocean. We actually have to take a boat. And then like I said, we were able to walk back because the tide was so low that you could see, you see through the water. Well, there was no water. You have to wear the swim shoes coming back. Okay. And this is what else is coming up. So if I don't see Australia on here, I guess it wasn't enough room, but yeah. Australia's the next one coming after Jordan. All right. And hold on, let's see. Okay. Oh, everybody showed up. There y'all are. Hey. All right. And then I had another where I wanted to show y'all what some of the ladies had to say about their experience. Let's see. I'll show you that right quick if I can figure out what I'm doing. Okay. Can y'all see it? You see my screen? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear her?
No.
That's the weird part. Okay. I don't know. That happened the last time I tried to show you guys. Okay. Hold on. It's a Zoom thing. Okay, well, you can see it. I'm sorry. If I can figure it out, I'll fix it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I can't figure out how to do it. Well, anyway, somebody's in the chat. Okay. Any questions for me at this point? I know the registration page is already open, and we do have the longest payment plan we can offer at this point is, I think it's like 16 payments. And that ends after today because we go into February. So of course, you'll lose a month if you aren't already booked. And it's a small group. I think we're going to end up with maybe 12 or 14 for this experience. If someone needs a roommate, you can let us know, and we will pair you with someone else who needs a roommate if we have someone available. I would have to check to see if we do right now, but you can certainly let me know if that's what you need. Okay. And if anybody has any questions, just unmute. I'm gonna try the video again. Let me know. I turned this off. Let's see.
I have a quick question on the packing.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So if I'm understanding correctly, have a suitcase but then an empty duffel bag inside
So
to
I
use for the
would,
safari portion.
yeah, I would put your safari things in your duffel bag and you can bring your duffel bag with you, but I say have an empty suitcase. That's for your shopping.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's just for your shop. If you're not a shopper, you don't need that.
Okay.
You'll still have a few things to wear for like when you're not on safari. You'll still want to have that.
Mhm.
And that's one thing, let me say, safari clothes are only for safari.
What do you
So you
mean?
don't want to be walking around the shopping center wearing safari clothes. It just looks
What do you
like,
mean by that?
so the safari outfits, the colors, you don't want to wear those when you're not actually in the bush. You don't want to, when we like say we go on safari and we finish and then you want to go shopping. You want to go do your own thing. You're going to go get your hair braided or whatever. You don't wear the safari clothes. You change into your regular clothes.
Okay. Is there a particular reason why? Is it just to clean yourself off, or is there like a
Well, I
color
think
thing?
they just consider it to just look like you're clueless, you know?
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like, we have certain attire that we wear certain places, and it's not considered appropriate. I don't think it's offensive. I think it's
Oh,
just
okay.
more you just look like you don't know where you are.
Oh, okay. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So I think they kind of laugh at you if they see you out in some.
Wearing beige. Don't go shopping wearing beige.
Yeah, yes, yeah, because then it does look like safari attire.
Right.
I mean, we wear it because it seems like, oh, we just need to wear this. I mean, like I said, I don't think you really have to wear it, but I really haven't seen anybody who isn't wearing it when they're on safari. So it's
Um,
it's it's kind of preferred, but I don't think anybody's gonna say, well, you can't go, it's not like that.
right. Okay. And then you had mentioned that you'll send like a packing list of suggestions. I heard you mention the wearing swim shoes or getting a pair of those. Not so seemed like that instead of flip-flops would be the best thing. Or
I
that kind of sand.
recommend swim shoes, not flip-flops,
Mhm.
because there's certain parts that you're gonna walk out to on the beach, and it's just rocky, and it's mucky, it's bad.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And so flip-flops are not gonna be secure. If you have some old tennis shoes that you don't mind getting wet and dirty, that would be great. But if not, some kind of swim shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's for the day that we go out on the boat. Because what happens is the tide is way out. So you're walking through that
rocky part of the bottom of the ocean. And then when
Yeah,
you come back, the tide is in, but it's up to your thighs and you still got to walk through it.
right. No, that makes sense. I just the picture with Raquel, she's barefoot. So
Oh
either
yeah.
she had sandals or she had something that she was
She
taking
has
off.
something somewhere. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So with that, after we took the pictures, we got in the boat and they took us out to the restaurant. By the time we finished dinner, we walked back. There was no water,
Right.
but it was rocky as heck. It looks pretty where she was standing. But when you get out there where the water is, it's a hot mess. And it looks so, I wish I had a picture of it because it looks so bad. It like when I first got there, I was like, where in the world? It looks so bad. But then once that water comes up, it's beautiful.
Hmm.
And that sand
Okay.
is some of the whitest and most powdery, gorgeous sand. I collect sand, so I know it's very, very beautiful. It's very fine, very, I would say high quality sand just because I collect sand. Gorgeous, gorgeous beaches. But we're
Hmm.
spending most of our time there in Stone Town, and then we'll take the day where we go over to the beach.
Okay.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful trip. We really, really enjoyed it. Like I said, I love the food. The people are wonderful. I don't want to leave anything out. Lots of animals. Like I had one of the ladies on the trip, she had gone to South Africa and she said this safari definitely beats South Africa. Because I've not been to South Africa, and when we do go, the safari is just not going to be the highlight of what we do because I know Tanzania is really the place for that. Kenya is too. I mean, they share, the Serengeti, so East Africa. I think East Africa has it. I'm gonna put this back on because my dog's making all kind of noise. Okay. All right, ladies. Um,
Renee, can you hear me?
I hear you. Hey, who
Hi,
is that?
hi everyone. This is Pam.
Pam.
Hi,
Hi,
So I
Pam.
have
Pam.
a hi everyone. So I have a quick question. Renee,
Yeah,
you had put up a duffel bag on your favorite list of travels, and it had wheels on it. Is that the
that's
same bag
it.
you're talking about?
That's
Okay.
it. Ladies, I'm gonna put my list in the chat because I totally forgot I had that. I have a shopping list on Amazon and I'll probably be updating it, but I did put the duffel bag on that list. I think I ended up getting one. I think I got that same bag, but I got it when I was in Africa because I didn't know to get one ahead or something. I don't know. But let's see. Yep, that's the one with the wheels.
Okay. Just
Uh,
Are
making
you
sure
are
because I
you
have
going to
to start
share?
packing
Oh,
now because I know I'm gonna have a problem.
yeah, okay. Am I gonna share what?
I said no. Thank you for reminding me because I'm gonna start now because I know I'm gonna have a problem. Gina can vouch for me, but I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna get it together by the trip.
Okay. Oh, Robin, what were you saying?
oh, I was asking. I was going to ask if you shared it, but I see that you did. And
Mm-hmm.
then I'll open a tab and do it because the link is not hyperlinked.
Oh, okay. So, I mentioned binoculars. You don't have to buy binoculars. Usually the tour guide will have binoculars that you can use. Some ladies have them. There's usually more than one pair of binoculars around. I just didn't find that we needed them a whole lot. We looked in them sometimes.
But if you don't have them and you don't want to buy them, I think you'll be okay.
Okay.
And as far as the weather, it can get very, very cold at night. And I mean, you want to have pajamas. It gets that cold, and socks in that crater. In the Ngorongoro Crater, they give you a space heater and a hot water bottle heater. This is when I found out that a hot water bottle heater can stay hot all night. I did not know that. They give you that to put in the bed with you to keep you warm. It is that cold at night in that crater, just so you'll know. So you'll want to have you some socks and, you know, something comfortable to sleep in that'll keep you warm for those nights. The daytime heat was pretty warm, pretty hot. You will want to have a sun hat, like a safari hat. Yeah. Most of the time when you're on safari, you're in the Jeep. We're not getting out too much. I remember we got out in the crater once, but for the most part, you're just riding in the Jeep, so you don't have to worry about you don't really have to worry about anything. You're just sitting in the Jeep and you're just watching and looking and you're hunting down these animals. You're looking for the big five. You know, you got your list and you're checking it out. It's a lot of fun. Have y'all been on safari? Any of you? You
Yeah.
have. Okay, where'd you go, Carmen?
Botswana. I went
Oh,
to South Africa and the safari was in Botswana.
oh, I bet that was nice.
It was. We
Okay.
didn't see all the big five, but we were up close and personal, so it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
I have a
So
question
yeah.
now.
Uh-huh. Say
Back to
that.
the duffel bag.
Oh, okay.
How many days clothing do we need to put in the duffel bag?
I will have to look at the itinerary for sure, and I'll get. We'll have an actual meeting. This is more
Okay.
just for info for those who are thinking about signing up.
Okay.
But those who actually register, we will have another meeting. Um, Usually about a month ahead, but because this is a special trip, we'll probably do it more like 2 months ahead. Because you want to make sure you have everything you need for this one. Yeah, so our trip is in July it's not until next year, July. I'm thinking it's this July next year. So yeah, we'll have our meeting probably like May, April, something like that. Just to make sure you have everything you need. You will need, I think you need the yellow fever shot for this one. Pretty sure. Let me look. Let me look. Because I've been to so many places in Africa. I'm getting a little confused. Yellow fever? I can't remember for sure, but Tanzania. Oh no, no, you don't. I'm sorry. Not that one. Needed it for Ghana. And then I'll have your info for visa. I'll have that available for the ladies who register. Hotel info as we get a little closer in, I'll have that. You know, all the specifics. I will get that info for the ladies who are, once you are actually registered and we get a little closer in. But the main thing is right now that payment plan is stretched out as far as it's gonna go. And so the payments are as low as they can possibly be right now. So if you really do want to go with us, make sure you go ahead and book because after today, yeah, today's 31st, right? Yeah. So tomorrow we move into a new month and the you'll have one less, you know, payment month. So we'll have to recalculate it and the monthly payment will go up. It'll probably be a little over 500. Okay. For a double, that is. All right. I think some of y'all are registered. Okay. And I have two Pams. I have two Pams? Or Pam, are you on here twice?
No, that's just Tim being goofy over here in two places. That's what that is. Oh gosh.
All right.
That's what that is. This one is only one of me.
Okay. All right, ladies. Any more questions?
Actually, I do have a question, but it's from regards to your Amazon list. I see that you have that DG Pocket 3.
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
consider, I just bought one. I went to Singapore and not Thailand. Where did we go? Bali. I just
Yeah.
came back 3 weeks ago. I should be able to remember. And thank you so much for curating such a lovely trip. Is
Ah,
that an absolute, do you think that that's an absolute must-have?
no. Because it's like a $700 camera. It's not a
I have it, but
must-have.
just make sure that I bring it. I think
Oh,
that's
you
the
mean for the
disadvantage.
trip?
Yes,
Okay, I thought
yes.
you meant do I recommend everybody get one?
No.
Um, oh, oh wow. I'm struggling because we had a photographer with us last time. So we didn't have to like you were able to just enjoy. And I don't think we're gonna have him this time. I mean, I feel like your phone is sufficient.
And then select restore. All right. So
If you have it, it's little, you can bring it. But because I'll probably bring it because I have it. But if you don't have it, I feel like the phones take such great pictures. I just got it for video. I don't use it for photos. And then I have my YouTube channel, so that's why I needed it for a real high quality video for my YouTube show. So,
thank you for that.
mhm. Yeah, it's small. You can definitely use it, but and then one thing that we always do is we have a photo circle. So we all share our photos, and videos. So if I'm taking a bunch of videos, I dump them in the photo circle and then that way, you're not missing a shot. Somebody else probably got it. So we usually end up with 1,000 pictures in the end. You take 200, I take 300, we put them all together. And that way it's not taking up all your space on your phone. And you could go in that photo circle years later and pull out photos if you want to. So that's a real nice little perk to have access to that. I really like that a lot because I'm always going in there looking for photos. Okay. And there are a lot of really good photo apps. And I'm not going to promise to do a photo shoot, but if we have time, I would love to. That's why you saw the photo where we all had on the animal print because we did a photo shoot. If we have time, I'd love to do that. So we'll see. All right.
Oh.